I'm back with Rod Carew, one of the greatest players to ever play this game. The Twins, along with Rod and Rhonda Carew, created Heart of 29, which is a campaign started this year to educate fans about heart health and raise funds for the American Heart Association. And Rod, you had a very, very serious and potentially fatal heart attack, and then you decided to raise some money. How has it been so far?
Well, Steve, it's been great. You know, the Twins organization, they've really come up front big time. And we just want to teach people about their hearts. Make sure that they take care of them, make sure that they get a physical and get a x-ray to make sure that everything is okay. And I didn't think that I would be here. From the heart attack that I had, they call it a widowmaker. And I never thought that I would be here at a ball game sitting here talking to you guys.
Well, certainly Rhonda is very happy that in this case it wasn't the widowmaker, and you've done just a great job. These Twins fans are wonderful fans. They always have been. I know they've treated you exceptionally well, and the Twins fans can help by walking or donating to the Twin Cities Heart Walk on Saturday, May 14th at Target Field. How has it been to be received in a completely different way, because now you're representing the American Heart Association, which is something that affects all of us in one way or another?
Well, you know, what's funny is that this is like my second calling to help people. Because when my youngest daughter, Michelle, had leukemia, I really had to go out there and tell people about going to the National Maradona program and getting tested. So I think that my friend upstairs is giving me a second chance to do this, to help other people.
There's that double by Laurie. Well, Rod, you have always been a person, first of all, for the youngsters out there who may not know, Rod Carew, 328 career hitter, 7-time batting champion in the American League, one of the greatest second basemen to ever play the game, has always been loved and respected by his peers. And that's unusual for a guy who beat as many clubs as you beat. Usually people don't like that.
Well, you know, I enjoyed the battles I had with Steve.
I didn't.
Because they were fun. But, you know, I really enjoyed playing the game. And, I was blessed, but still yet I had to work at my trade to continue to improve and get better.
Well, it's a great thing you're doing here, big guy. I know you're going to be traveling around, going to some other ballparks and some other clubs doing the same thing to raise money for that heart disease, which is is that the biggest killer in America?
It's the biggest killer in America.
Wow.
And you just never know. It snuck up on me, and I thought I was healthy. I just walked the night before. I did a walk at Angel Stadium for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. 10-mile walk, and I was fine.
And no symptoms whatsoever before that?
No symptoms whatsoever. None.
That's why they call it the widowmaker.
Yeah.
And there is where you can go, twinsbaseball.com, Heart of 29, to get more information or find out about Rod's quest to bring awareness to folks about how you can prevent it, and if you do unfortunately have heart disease, how you can live with it.
Well, one thing about Rod, he had some of the greatest hands. I used to love to watch him hit. In fact, everybody did. We used to watch Rod hit. All he did was rotate his hands. He just had he's got big hands, strong hands. And people don't understand that if you watch him at batting practice, if he wanted to, he could hit it as far as anybody. But in the game, all he wanted to do was just get on base, get base hits, and
score runs for Harmon.
And Rod also flirted with 400. That was back in '77 when he hit 388.
What was it like here? I mean, you started out with the Twins and things went exceptionally well for you. Obviously, the fans love you here, but then you had almost a second career with the Angels, and you guys almost won it.
Yeah, we almost did, because we had the Reggie Jacksons and the Burlesons and the Freddie Lynns and the Doug DeCinces. Plus, there was a great owner in Mr. Autry, who everybody wanted to win for. And We never did, but we just kept pushing.
He also had the best high fastball left-handed hitting team I've ever seen with you and Anderson and Erstad and those guys. All you guys could hit that high heat.
I love the fastball.
I know you.
I wasn't crazy about the all-speed stuff, but I just sat on the fastball throughout the whole count.
And another thing, a lot of people, because the Twins are not covered like a lot of other big market teams, tell people what a great hitter Tony Oliva was.
Oh, he was the best. Learned a lot from him, roomed with him for 10 years. And so we became so close. Even today we're very close. But he could hit.
And there's the 6 and the 29. A couple of retired numbers as well, you would expect.
10 batting titles between the two of us.
Well, I think Tony is certainly in the top 3 or 4 guys, best hitters who are not in the Hall of Fame.
And we're trying to get him there, Hawk.
Well, I've been trying for a long time. People, it's one of those things. His knees cut his career short. But boy, I'll tell you one thing, he was unbelievable. In 67, when we were talking earlier, we beat you guys on the last day of the season. We did not have the best team, the Red Sox. Minnesota had the best team. Detroit was second. We were third. And the White Sox were fourth. The White Sox couldn't score any runs, but they had the best pitching.
Right. Yep. Had all those sinker ballers.
Oh. At least sinker. Full count right here. And what is got a chance to be with that single and double. A big inning off Phil Hughes.
Well, just some contact. A ground ball to the right side scores 1. And you got to push 1 across at least in this situation.
That's out of play.
This is where, as a hitter, you really have to bear down. But I don't know, for some reason or the other, these youngsters don't care if they swing and miss. It's just crazy.
That wasn't the attitude that you guys had in your era, certainly.
Well, when you get a guy, as I mentioned earlier in the telecast, some guys that were not afraid to hit with 2 strikes, and Rod Carew was certainly one of those. As we mentioned, Wade Boggs was another. And George Brett was another. So when you get a guy like that, but strikeouts were taboo, so to speak.
Yeah.
They were taboo. That's why Kansas City is within 1 out of winning 2 straight world championships. They put the ball in play.
Put the ball in play all the time.
And the payoff pitch. Just got a piece of it.
And the longest walk on the baseball field is from home plate back to the dugout. You know that, Stevie.
Well, I kind of
break those breaking balls off.
I kind of enjoyed that, but yeah, for hitters certainly, but you didn't have to worry about that too much. And what I was talking to you about before the game was your ability to bunt with 2 strikes against a tough left-hand pitcher. I haven't seen anybody do it better than you ever in the game.
Well, they don't work at it. It's an embarrassment to bunt today.
Big strikeout, 2 down. 7 strikeouts now.
Hughes battled and then went upstairs with a fastball and threw it by him. That was in the zone. And so the toughest guy in this ball club to deal with is Austin Jackson for Phil Hughes. You got first base open. You got a guy who doesn't like to walk people. And Jackson hit a rocket the first time up in the 3rd, only to line out to Buxton in center.
Well, the way I look at it, Rod, this is my 56th year in the game, is when you and I played back in our time zone, we had our game. We had our culture. We had our rules. We had our unwritten rules that we played by.
Right.
This is a different culture today. They have their game today. It's a lot different than we did.
Yes.
A lot different than we did. And
it's not a good baseball culture, I don't think.
Well, it's the one that they grew up with. It's the one, I forget who it was. It was one of the Latin kids that said it right. He says, we came up, I'm come out current now, we came up learning a different game than the Americans. Yes, he's going to get out of a 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Rod Carew, always nice to see you, buddy, and thanks so much for your great work.
Thanks, my friend.
All right,
Great
buddy.
to see you, too.